Hmm? All right, all right.
Uh-oh. All
Had to
right.
get rid of that shadow. There.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rule Zero Gaming's Toys for Tots charity event for tonight.
Uh-oh.
Thank you so
All
Had
much
to
for
right.
get rid of
joining
that
us.
shadow. There.
Now we have. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Oh,
to Rule
jeez.
Zero Gaming. I got some reverb action going. We actually have tonight. If you go to the Twitch panel, you will see a link for Toys for Tots. Our goal for tonight is $1,000. So please, if you can, just click that link, donate whatever you can. Be $1, could be whatever you want. We just hope that you would find it in your heart to give some help the little children get some toys. And I think they also do books, and I believe there's a little excerpt here, basically. 97% of the donations go to providing toys, books, and other gifts to children. The 3% is spent on supporting the cover of the fundraising expenses, and but not $1 donated goes to pay for salaries or any other manpower costs. So I think that is great that they're prioritizing that. So, but without further ado, Chris will be our DM for this one shot. For this, he's our jolliest game master ever.
Ho, ho, ho.
Chris, take it away.
All right. So, this evening we'll be delving into the Feywild. And so, just in case we don't know, the Feywild is a different plane from the material world, but it has influences. There's different parts of the Feywild and the material plane that are very closely linked. And so, there's some influence there. There's some creatures that roam the material plane that originate from the Feywild, and so one of the main ones is the elves. The elves came over from the Feywild long, long time ago and began their uh, population here in the material plane. So we're going to have an encounter there tonight. But first, we cut scenes to the small tavern of the Redbeard, and we see three gentlemen in particular in our tavern tonight. And there are two individuals that are playing some pool at a pool table, and one that is off to the side, kind of Strider style, watching everything go on. And so our two that are playing pool is first off Corey's character, Zeke. So go ahead and tell us just a little bit about your character before we get going.
Well, I'm about 3 feet 5 inches tall. I'm very disguised right now, for I am considered to be an unworthy, disgusting little goblin where all these humans and dwarves and elves are, so I completely am in disguise at the moment. Only thing that you can see that may is if I smile. There's some gnarly teeth and my yellow eyes that I tried to keep covered with a hood at the moment. So I wear dark brown leather armor. Have a very unique and family-made short bow, and I got a little bit of a temper sometimes.
All right. And we cut over to his opponent at this pool game, who has no idea that he's a goblin. Oops, I guess the cat's out of the bag. But, or the goblin's out of the mask. So, anyways, so we go over to Novar. If I'm saying the names wrong, please correct me. But our other pool player is Novar. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, my name is Novar Xanatron. You will notice I'm not hard to miss here. At Janasi, my skin is blue to the point of almost like an irradiant sapphire gemstone kind of appearance to it. I'm a cleric by trade. You'll see me. Yes, I'm here in my chain, still wearing my chainmail, and I am trying to figure out what my opponent is, let alone what he's doing, because of how he seems. I can tell he's got himself disguised somehow, but I can't quite figure out what it is. Normally, I would be either adventuring or working at my smithy station and all that, but tonight it's a night to relax and hit something other than the metal against the anvil.
All right, and we will cut over across the room from a little side table. We have Phineas Pull Trouser the Fifth, who knows exactly what's going on, knows exactly what Zeke is, and knows that he is a ringer and fixing to take Novar to the cleaners. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Pull Trouser.
Phineas Poolchauser the Fifth is a very small little gnome of the age of 232, and he weighs about 55 pounds in his small, frail frame, and he is far too wise and knowledgeable of the sorts of things to be engaged in a game of pool. But he will keep tabs on the two as he strokes his long, frivolous beard and peers down at them with his long, tinted frame glasses and mess around with a little clockwork toy.
Okay, so as we set the scene, as we introduced our characters, here is how things work. Novar and Zeke, you guys are going to be playing some pool. And Zeke, you're going to break. So I need you to go ahead and roll a pure D20 roll and tell me what you get.
Oh, everyone stand back. They don't call me the hammer for nothing.
As I chuckle, knowing he probably has no idea what a true hammer is like.
All right, what am I rolling?
D20.
Am I adding any modifier?
Nope.
Just good old-fashioned D20 like Mother used to make.
Let's see here. That will be a 10.
A 10. Okay. So you rear back, you break. There is one of the balls that goes in the pocket. And so go ahead and roll me a D6.
A D6?
Actually, no, I'm sorry. Roll another D20. I apologize. Another D20. Yeah.
That'll be a 13.
13. All right. So it was a solid 7 that you knocked in the pocket. So you're the solids. And so you shoot again. Go ahead and roll me a D6.
I'm just getting warmed up over here. I don't think you wanted to play, right, Novar?
We shall see about that.
Well, you said a 6? A D6?
Yes, please.
All right, D6. A 5.
A 5. Okay. So you hit another in, and we'll say that it's just another solid color. Go ahead and roll me one more D6.
Just relax over there, Novar. You won't be getting up anytime soon.
A 2.
Okay, 2. So you rear back, you miss, and it is now Novar's turn.
Oh, I'm getting a little tired. You can go ahead. I guess you can go ahead and take a shot.
Go ahead and...
You're solids, by the way, Novar. You're solids.
Go ahead and roll me a D6.
A D6?
Yes, please.
That would be a 4.
A 4. Okay, so you knock in one of the solids. Roll me a D20, please.
Thank you, Novar. You're the best player on my team.
I'm sorry. You rolled in a strap. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was a 4. My bad. Go back and erase that from the record.
A 15.
15. Okay, so that would be a strapped 12 that you rolled in. Okay. Go ahead and roll me another d6.
5.
A 5. Okay, so you roll in another solid. Roll me another d6.
Yes.
Another stripe, you mean?
Or I'm sorry, another strap. I don't know pool.
Novar was starting to suspect a conspiracy.
I told you he was a ringer.
I cast
15
charm
again.
on you, by the way.
This game was rigged from the start.
15 again.
No, a
Different-
d6, please.
Oh, D6 again. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought you said it. I thought you said a D20.
I might have. I don't know. I'm
3.
nervous. 3. Okay, so you miss.
Okay.
As you progressively roll, the numbers go up for you to have to hit to be able to knock one in. So both of you go over to take your pool balls out of the pocket, set them back on the rack to start the next turn. And as you do, you reach your arms down into the pocket to pick out the pool balls that you've knocked in. And you guys feel funny. It's like a shiver goes through you. And before you know it, you are being pulled Space Jam Michael Jordan style through the pocket of the pool table down through this long black tunnel with a light at the end of it.
I want a rematch.
This is majorly inconvenient.
What the hell?
The helm is something you put on your
The
head.
helm.
No, Helm is actually one of the deities I almost picked.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, helm.
Oh, that's
Remember helm,
good.
yeah.
All right, so we cut over to Pull Trouser. What are you thinking here, sir?
I am very displeased with the current state of events. Especially this. It is very inconvenient as I had plans with the clockwork toy I was working on. Did it come with me, by the way?
You weren't. You're still
Oh,
sitting at
okay.
the tavern.
Oh, the other two. Okay.
You just saw a goblin dressed up as a small human and a rather large Earth Genasi get sucked through 2 pool pockets, Space Jam Michael Jordan style.
I would have
Oh.
officially say I would kind of look like a halfling.
Okay, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry for
No, I'm just-
misidentifying.
Well, that's highly inconvenient for both of them. I'm going to go and poke around at that little pool pocket, if I am allowed.
You do notice that Zeke got 2 solids in,
Right before I,
and
like, legally or illegally?
legally,
Okay.
without the DM's help, you got 2. So there is still at least 1 pool ball in one of the pockets.
What do you want to do?
Going to
Oh, sorry,
pull it back out of the pocket ever so slowly. Get a grip,
As-
see what happens.
As you look, you go in, you pull your the ball out. You look, you get a really good look at it. It was a 14, and then you 2 are sucked through down
You too?
through a long tunnel. Yeah,
Oh, you
you
as
too.
well.
you as well. Yes. Next,
What is with you?
you as well are sucked through Michael Jordan Space Jam style down through this pocket of pool. You see a light off in the distance. Y'all, all 3 of you scream out for several minutes worth,
Novar, we've been falling for 30 minutes.
and that's the end. Thank you for joining
All right,
us.
thank you.
They fall into eternity. No.
Thank you for coming to another fine adventure here on Rule Zero Gaming. Tune in next week when our DM says,
Thank y'all. Toys for Tots.
Next.
So y'all are all three falling. Eventually, you wake up in a bright summer field. Roll me a perception check, everybody.
Oh. A perception.
Do my glasses give me advantage?
Oh, this is the best perception character I've ever made. 24.
Okay.
I never make a perception character ever.
18.
24,
A 2.
18, and a 2.
A 2.
So you too, Phineas Pulltrouser, see absolutely nothing. You are staring down at your little clockwork toy that you brought along with you.
My glasses. I can't see without my glasses.
But Zeke and Novar, both of you look around, and you are in a summer meadow. I mean, things look like they are at the peak of the season. There are all these strange fruits hanging down from random trees. It looks beautiful. And then Zeke, you notice these little, well, they're not little, but you notice these creatures off to your right in a little clearing. There are several of them that are, you can see there are some brown creatures and there's some white creatures, and it looks like they are fighting one another. You look through the thicket, and behind this thicket, you see this very tall mountain jutting up out of the earth that goes above the tree line, up, and is snow-capped at the very tip top, but everything else has melted off. And so you see some creatures off to the right in this little clearing. You see all of these luscious trees all around you. Phineas, you are staring down at your toy, and just nonchalant. You didn't just get sucked through a portal to another plane. You did, but you are unaware. What would you like to do?
I would like to climb the nearest tree as quickly as possible.
You want to climb the tree?
Climb the tree.
Okay, so there's one rather close to you. You can go over and you can make a let's do acrobatics. See if you can.
Acrobatics is my thing. A 10.
Okay, so you go over. The limbs are a little too high up. They start up a little too high, so you got to kind of bear hug and kind of inch your way up.
Yeah.
But after a few minutes of Novar and Phineas kind of looking at you.
Would you like a boost, good sir?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay, I go over. Novar goes over and half boost, half lifts him up towards the branches.
Okay, so like a small halfling, you're just lifted
your
up.
hands are so warm.
Okay, no response. So you lift him up to put him on the tree limb.
Thank you, Novar.
I would have to say Novar knows what I am. Does me and we know each other, Novar? Is that what the deal is?
No, you're trying to hustle him with some pool.
You were
I'm
trying to hustle me at the pool.
Ah.
You were trying to hustle me at the pool table, so I
cool.
have not met you before all this.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. And I'm going to try to get a better look at what those creatures are.
Okay, roll another perception check.
As I lifted him up, did I feel anything different as far as like weight distribution or something like that would tell me that he's not a halfling?
I think he might have farted in your hand a little bit.
There's some weight distribution for you.
You squeezed him a little too hard. If you want to make, let's see, make a perception check.
Okay. 18.
18. You knew that he wasn't what he was claiming to be, and we'll say you
Hey,
get a
DM?
little glint. Yes,
I,
sir.
I have a disguise kit. Which
Oh,
is one of my
okay.
tools. So I think it's
So-
a contested roll.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's see
so
if he
roll
notices
roll a
that.
roll a deception check with
See how
advantage.
well I do. Alright, that would be. You said deception?
Yes,
That would be a lucky 7.
a lucky 7.
Lucky 7.
Okay, so he does get a glimpse. You did a really good job if they were looking down on you, because that's mainly how everybody perceives you. But as he lifts you up, you left a little bit of your green goblin skin. I assume it's green. You
Greenish,
what-
brownish, yeah.
Okay, so you left a little bit of that showing near your rear where you just laid one on him. So he's a little green booty as he lifts you up.
My crack was showing. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. These are new pants. I haven't had them tailored yet.
Obviously, as I walk away from the tree, and I head a little bit more towards the thicket, trying to stay down, not to be seen by whoever's fighting over there.
okay.
Yeah, I was going to let him know. I was going to try and get stealthy and try to hop tree to tree closer to it.
Okay. I won't say. I'll say that they're too. They're not paying enough attention to anything other than each other. So if you just want, I hate to make everybody roll everything, but roll an acrobatics check, and
Acrobatics would be a 22.
awesome. So you hop tree to tree to tree. You get.
Yeet, 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 yeet.
You get within 50 yards.
That's me hopping.
Yeah, you can get a very good picture now. This is picture, if you will. You have a white snow yeti
Oh, geez. These are
that
big
is fighting a brown Sasquatch.
things. These are big things.
Very big things.
These are
yes.
much bigger than me.
Very much bigger than you. Like they're eye level with you in your tree, but there's no stealth. They're too busy giving each other black eyes to notice you. But
Oh, boy.
you hear them jabbering, yelling, screaming at each other, just having a friendly family feud between Yeti and Sasquatch.
Do they speak a language that I would know?
What languages do you know?
I know Sylvan and I know Goblin.
No. No, they don't.
I will sneak down and go tell them that Novar and Stranger, we have a bit of a issue.
Is it like blocking our way, or is there like a path and they're in the way?
They are just in this huge clearing that has this beautiful mountain backdrop behind the trees. You're right now in a field. There's thicket of trees, opens up into another clearing, and there is all these guys fighting each other.
How many were there?
There's probably 15 of each side.
Holy moly! That's like a rugby football team. The Sasquatches versus the Yetis.
So
It's an old goblin game. Y'all wouldn't understand. I mean, not goblin. Halfling.
Halfling
Yes,
rugby
an
would
old-
be.
Nilvar, I don't know what we're doing here.
Neither do I, but I do not think we want to engage either side.
No.
Where am I?
The same strange place that we've been taken, good sir.
Do we
What
know what
is
this
this
place is?
No,
I mean-
you wouldn't have any idea.
I mean, I am a goblin. This is where I'm from.
Roll a history check.
History check, okay. Oh, boy. History, I don't think history's my thing. A +1 to history, so a 9.
A 9.
9?
Some of these trees and plants and fruit look awfully familiar, and you knew exactly what the Yeti and the Sasquatch were without even really thinking about knowing. You do know that those fruit are deadly, and you wouldn't need to eat them.
I
but
grab
you-
a few though.
Okay, you can add a few deadly fayberries to your
Okay.
That's good, because
inventory.
I'm a hunter, man. I can put them on my arrows.
But as far as knowing exactly where you are, no, you
Right.
don't.
Okay.
As I am in unfamiliar territory, I will go ahead and preemptively cast mage armor upon myself.
Okay, so you have this sparkly sheen to you, and now you feel like you could take on a Yeti. Not really.
This also helps my abjuration, which gives me 9 hit points as a shield whenever I get hit by said Yeti.
You ready for the Yeti?
Not
cool, man.
yet.
Jeez.
Nice.
Wow.
So,
So
My-
how do we get back?
I think that is our first task to try to figure out. I look around. Do I see any other signs of life other than the Sasquatch versus Yeti annual rugby match going on?
oh, make a perception check. Or, yeah, perception.
Perception 18.
18. You look out into the field, and you just barely catch it. I mean, it wasn't there before. Whenever you first looked, a few minutes have passed. Zeke's gone out and scouted a little bit, came back and informed you. Phineas is kind of in his own little world, but now you see this green little creature hopping through the tall grass. You just kind of see the top of his head and the bend in the back of his legs every time he hops along through the grass. You see a little frog hopping through, and he's hopping towards you three.
Is this a normal size frog, or does this look like it's a not so normal size frog?
Oh, it's a normal sized frog. Looks like
Okay.
a bullfrog. Yeah. No, it's a gigantic. No, it's just a little frog.
I need to know if it's going to go croak or if it's going to go croak.
Are you going to just wait and see?
Yeah, I'll just hold back and wait and see, because do I see any like streams or ponds or anything like nearby
No.
that he would become? Since I don't see anything like that, it's like, okay, why is he this far away from water? So I'm just going to wait for him to get closer.
Okay. So, Zeke, Phineas, what are y'all guys doing?
I stealth, of course. I get my bow out.
Okay. So, the halfling is hiding with his bow. Phineas.
And I'm just gonna follow wherever everybody else goes.
I, of course, being one of the most intellectual people in our current party, will take initiative
What is
and do whatever the big guy is doing. And wait.
Okay. So y'all wait.
Are they playing with
Blump.
foil?
Blump. Blump. Ribbit. Ribbit. Jump. Jump. Ribbit. It's like Chariots of Fire. You hear music and the frog is slowly.
The $6 million frog.
Yeah, there we go. So he hops up to you. He's got the throat sack bobbing back and forth. He's croaking. He looks. His eyes go to each of you. His mouth opens. And instead of a ribbit or a croak, there is a human voice or a humanoid voice speaking common. It says, "Hail, adventurers! We need your help. Come
Who says
quickly
this?
to the Winter Court." And then he closes his mouth.
Winter.
That was the frog?
Yeah.
The frog did that?
So
mouth
it
opens.
appears.
The mouth opens again. He says, "Hail, adventurers! We need your help. Please come to the Winter Court. Follow the frog." And his mouth closes. And he starts hopping out of the woods.
I'll follow the frog stealthily.
Towards the Yeti and Sasquatch battle going down.
A stealth roll.
He's
That'll be a
leading
26.
us towards their battle.
Mm-hmm.
Stealth
Okay.
roll 26.
Okay. You don't even know where you are. What do you guys do?
I
will
when
follow.
he says Winter Court, do I have enough knowledge to know exactly what he's talking about? But in reference to that, with my character, can I make some sort of check?
But Zeke, you would probably have heard about the different courts.
I know about courts.
You would know.
I've been in a few. Acquitted, always.
I have a feeling this is not that kind of court.
History check? That'll be a
Yes.
16.
Okay, so wow. All right, with a 16, you think back to Grandpappy Zeke, who you are named after, who taught you how to hunt in the woods and used to tell you wild, fantasy tales of the Feywild as you were out, and you know that the Feywild is, like I said earlier, it's interconnected with the material plane, but it is shifted slightly. You can travel between the two, and they influence each other. And the way in this universe that it influences, you can think of the Feywild as a large circle of landmass, just a big circle, and then out of each cardinal direction, there is a small, like almost like petal of a flower. So you have a petal that's outreach in the north, in the south, in the east, and the west. And each of those petals are each of the different seasonal courts. So to the north, you have the summer court. To the south, you have the winter court. The east would be the spring, and the west would be the autumn court. And so you also know that each of these courts have their time where they control the full circle of landmass in the middle. So once a year, the winter court takes control for a short period of time of the entire circle. The entire circle has its winter season. And then the spring is able to take its control, then summer, and then autumn, and then it comes back around. And so that's how that's how the large circle landmass of the Feywild has its seasons. And it's also interconnected to our world. That's where our seasons come from in the material plane, is the shifting of control of the different courts. And so you would know with the 16 that the Winter Court would be to the south, or be down, and
I'm down.
that's where the winter elves would that's where they would make their home. But as you look around, it is absolutely 100%, no doubt, summertime in the area that you are. So that's a little bit of information about the Feywild that Grandpappy Zeke taught you. But the frog is
Zeke
hopping
Senior.
down.
I will definitely go down and tell them that the Winter Court. First off, hello, my name is Zeke, and you are little what?
I am Phineas Poolchazer the Fifth. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. We are in the Feywild, gentlemen. It is very dangerous. Stick close to me and you'll be safe.
And I'm supposed to find that reassuring.
No.
And then Zeke disappears back into the woods.
Bye-bye. I'm following the frog.
Is Phineas made aware of the Yetis that the frog is going into?
I mean, Zeke
Yeah, I would tell them everything you told me. So
came back and told y'all. It's
Okay.
up to you whether you were. It would be whether you were paying attention or not.
Phineas would totally pay attention to vital information regarding the safety of himself and others.
Oh, absolutely. So the frog is hopping out, and you see now the frog is hopping right out in the middle of these Yeti Sasquatch, and they're not paying the frog any attention. They're just going at it with each other.
Could I roll a nature check to delve into my college days, which I studied many subjects, and see if I remember anything that easily startles Yetis or Sasquatches?
Okay, so like Sasquatch 101. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's see. Roll a nature check.
All right. +7 to this roll. Let's go. That's a 14. 14 plus 7 equals a number, I'm sure. 21. 21.
Nice. You know that it is very difficult to scare a Yeti or a Sasquatch. They're basically the same creature, except one usually lives in the summer areas and one usually lives in the winter areas. Normally they would be good natured to one another. It'd be like you going and visiting your in-laws or your cousins down in Florida or whatever. But maybe that would be a good thing. But Flo, yeah, okay. So Flo Rida, the Georgia Florida line, because they did anyway. So sorry, tangents, they get to you. So you would know that they're basically the same creature. And the only way to really scare them is to
Bring a Discovery Channel camera crew with you, right?
Right. So if you had the ability to take their picture, they would run away, and it would be all blurry and out of focus, no matter what.
Ooh, I doubt I took the time to make a camera with my tinker's tools. I've got it. The frog was small, and observing with my own 2 eyes that they did not attack the frog. I am small, and our friend who has disappeared once again is small, but you, sir, no poke no more, are not small. Would you like to be small for a bit?
How long is a bit?
Let me, and I whip out like a half torn apart, falling apart spell book to flip through it. It would be about, up to 1 minute, and hopefully by then we'll make it across the clearing.
I suppose we don't have much choice in this matter. So yes, let's make it happen.
All right, clap my hands together. Zippity zoppity zippity zoom. You are now small, and I am too. And I'm going to poke him and cast enlarge reduce and reduce him.
Awesome. So now you have a gnome size, or does it give a specific?
It's just the target size is halved.
Okay.
So I go from 6 foot to about 3 foot.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you decrease one size category from medium to small,
Okay.
for
To
example.
small. Okay.
And you have disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws. Your weapons also deal 1d4 less damage.
Yeah, so be what?
They also your weapons deal 1d4 less damage for 1 minute. For 1
Resist,
minute, yeah.
Novar, resist it.
Immediately, the Yetis and Sasquatch, all 30 of them, convert. I'm just kidding.
They look our way and say just 2 words. Nice snack.
So all of you are pint size. The frog is now out in the meadow, just hopping in between hopping in between feet of these two that are going at it. There's now some that are down on the ground. Seems like that Sasquatch is taking it to the Yetis, but it's still undetermined. And the frog is out hopping through the meadow.
Nice.
So what are you guys doing?
I'm following the frog as stealthily as possible.
So Zeke is
Follow
running.
Greeny McToad. Follow Greeny McToad.
All right, so y'all take out after this toad, and we'll say as you are running through, you get close to the other side of the clearing, and you see, looks like 2 tribal leaders. One from the Yeti. He's got lots of a tooth necklace with lots of teeth on it, and a staff. And you've got.
Are they sharp teeth or are they like molars?
It's a mixture of both. There's like a saber tooth, tiger tooth, and then there's
cool.
just like a deer tooth.
Those are called displacer beasts.
Oh yeah. There we go. And so you do know about the Feywild. That's awesome. So you see tribal leader Yeti and tribal leader Sasquatch, and they are actually awakened, and so they're actually speaking to each other in common, and so you can hear them.
Ooh.
And
What do
so
they say?
as they are, as you guys are trying to follow the frog, the Yeti is saying, "I don't care if it's your turn. It's still summertime, so it's our turn to sleep in the caves. We sleep in the caves until wintertime, and then we come out. That's how it's been for generations. It makes no difference what time it is." And then the Sasquatch, he comes back with, "Well, actually, it's been a long time, and the summer court has extended its summer domain and has not let autumn or winter take its place yet. So, yes, technically it's not winter, but it actually is time for us to sleep, and we're all very tired."
Sounds like Phineas.
And so you have grouchy Yeti, and you have sophisticated trying to in trying to deliberate and use logic, Sasquatch, and they're talking back and forth, and basically they're fighting over who gets to sleep in the caves in the mountains. And it should be the Sasquatch's turn to sleep, but it's not, because it's not wintertime yet. And so the Yetis are still trying to sleep, and they're just brawling over bedtime.
Phineas is very interested and considers the perplexities of this conversation and likes to completely ignore it and keep on following the frog.
I agree.
Y'all, the frog moves on by and starts into the wood thicket on the other side. And right at the moment that y'all get to the edge of the clearing, the minute goes out. And Novar, you go, what? And you are back to your full size.
Novar, get down! Novar, you're big again! Novar!
One of the bushes.
I noticed.
Novar!
It's like a loud whisper, you know?
And as soon as I feel this, I try to duck down and stay hidden in the grass as much as I can.
Okay. Zeke, you've already cleared. You're looking back. You see the Yeti chieftain and the Sasquatch chieftain both look as this little thing goes woof and gets large. They see it. They look at each other, and they just go back to bickering about whose turn it is to sleep in the cave. And everything is right in the world. You guys are clear, made it through the Bigfoot versus Yeti rugby match in 2019.
Yeah. Let's head to the winter court.
So to kind of expedite and speed things along, we'll just say that the frog does a good job of not leading you guys into any danger. And after several hours of walking through the forest, you come to a path. You follow that path for another hour or two, and you come to you can start to feel it getting colder. It's jacket weather. It's nice, blazer, sweater vest, cocoa weather. As you're moving along, you're still following the frog, and you get to a fork in the path. There's a left and a right, and in front of you, you see a huge wall. It is white in color. It looks like it is ice encased. It's just ice stacked on ice, stacked on ice, stacked on ice. Huge wall that is right in front of the fork, going left and right. And in front of you, you see a very small fawn standing next to this huge Christmas tree. And on the Christmas tree, there's silver garland that goes around and around and around and around. And on that garland, you look and you see numbers. And so there's numbers hanging like ornaments on the garland. And so you walk up to this fawn and to this tree, and you look up at the tree. You see the numbers. I'll tell you the numbers. So the very top row of the garland, the very top row has a number 1 hanging on it. The next, okay.
My good friend Aslan had very bad things to say about places like these.
All right, what was it? 1?
The first row of garland has a 1.
Okay.
The next row of garland has 2 1s, a 1 and a 1 hanging next to each other.
Okay.
The third row of garland has a 1, a 2 and a 1 hanging on it. The next row has a 1, a 3, a 3, and a 1 hanging on the garland. There's one more row of garland at the bottom with no numbers on it. As you walk up, this little fawn approaches you, and he says, he's like a fawn in a pan, or close to the same thing. They got legs of a goat and play the little pan flute pipe. But a fawn comes up and he says, "My name is Fib the Fawn. I will tell you no lie. Give me the next 5 numbers for the tree, and you may pass."
Okay, Corey knows this, but would Zeke know this? I don't know if Zeke is smart enough.
Novar thinks he knows it.
All right.
Phineas is his character would probably know.
I put it in Twitch chat. What I think it is.
I got something different.
Uh-oh.
And I got hit for spamming.
Yes.
I'll put it in our chat.
Wonderful.
How is that spamming?
I don't know.
intended.
You tell me.
I'll have to check out Streamlabs then.
Message deleted by a moderator. I've been timed out for 1 second.
Oh, Streamlabs.
Only 1 second. So I put it in Zoom chat, what I think it is.
Yeah. So, y'all can discuss it. What do you think it is? You can talk amongst yourself.
Check out Zoom chat real quick. Let me check Zoom chat.
This is more of a challenge for you as individuals, not necessarily the idea of would my character know it.
Okay.
Okay.
That is my...
Smart.
So how'd you come up with the 6?
Because you add the numbers together, the numbers that are next to each other together.
Let's see.
1, you got the 1, then 1. You add the 2 ones together to get the 2.
Hold up. All right.
Then the next line, you add the 1 and the 2. You get to put the 1. You add the 1 and the 2 to get the 3. 2 and the 1 to get the 3. Then you put another 1. So the next one down, you put down the 1.
Okay.
1 and 3 is 4. 3 and 3 is 6.
Is 4. 3 and 3
If
is
you go
6.
into I'm just not even going.
3 and 1 is
mathematical
4. And 1, yeah.
So it's supposed to. Okay, it's the 4th row down. It's supposed to equal 5. So in the middle, if you like, in the 3rd row, 1 plus 2 equals 3, and then on the other, if you go from the other end, 1 plus 2 equals 3.
Yes.
2nd row, 1, 1, 1. So it's, and then the 4th row equals 4. 1 plus 3 is 4, and then 3 plus 1 is 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking something along the lines of that.
So what numbers do you put in?
I'm gonna vote for the 14641 with my fellow pool player.
Right. So you hand there's a little basket over to the side. The fawn picks it up, holds it up. There's little numbers inside. You can pick them out and you hand them to him, and you pick out the 1. He puts it on, and then the 4, and then the 6, and then the 4, and then the 1. And he says, "Yes, my number. My name is Fibonacci. Nice to meet you."
Fibonacci?
Must be Italian.
And it's a Fibonacci sequence.
That's what I thought. As easy as Fibonacci.
So you, the numbers go up. There's a slight shake, and off to the left side, the left fork, there's a little bitty door. I mean, like even Zeke couldn't fit through the door. But this little bitty door, like a mouse hole, opens up off to the left. He
This
says,
might be
"You,
A little mouse door?
a little mouse door."
Where's the frog?
The frog starts hopping
Towards the mouse door?
towards the mouse door. And what you see from the frog is as he hops to the left, he looks like he's getting smaller and smaller and smaller with each hop.
Oh, I hop with him.
Okay, so
I start hopping like he's hopping. I get on all fours.
both of you that are still standing, you see Zeke. He crouches down. He does the leapfrog. He's leaping over the frog. Then the frog leaps over him. Then he's leaping over the frog.
Come on, guys!
And so
And my good friend Alice had
Your turn,
plentiful
Novar.
bad things to say about places like these.
Come on, Phileas.
And I'll hop along with them.
Nova hopes that it's the direction and not the action, and he just slowly walks towards the door.
he stays the same size.
Oh, Novar, you gotta do it.
Okay. As I
Here.
see that happen, I lower myself to that level and start to hop there as well.
That is.
There goes
can
your
check-
dignity, Novar. It feels great.
I can check that off the DM list. So you guys frog hop along with the frog. It looks like you guys are shrinking, or actually, as you look out, it looks like everything else is
This is great.
growing up around you. And then you get to the door. You guys walk inside. As you walk inside, you see Santa's Kris Kringleville right inside. There's snow. There's talking snowmen. There's candy canes. There's narwhals and seals. There's probably not narwhals. That was probably an added bonus. But you see, I mean, it's like Santa's Wonderland, except you see brown, dark smoke off in the distance and what looks to be some sort of fire coming from the town that you see.
First off, I take off my disguise.
Everybody looks shocked. What?
And then I start talking like this with my. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually,
How? That was my halfling voice. Was it any good? Yeah, I got you. I'm actually a goblin.
You had me fooled by that much.
You're a what?
I'm actually a goblin.
Oh, you're green. Who cares?
I've heard stories of this place. All these.
Does see like little elves that are they like little
they're
gnome
actually
elves?
little gnomes.
Little gnomes? Oh, Phileas. Are you home? Are these your cousins or perhaps distant
Billy.
family members?
The only small elves that I'm familiar with is the Kellogg's.
Oh, those are next to the Keeblers.
Yes.
Give me roll a Constitution check.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Is this against magic?
No, this is just
Yes.
for
Okay,
flavor.
okay.
You're in Santa Land. Everything is
It's
magic.
all magic, but you don't have
16.
you. Okay, so just for a brief, very very brief moment, you have this urge to put on these elongated shoes with bells at the end,
Ha ha! You can't
And
resist.
bright red hat with a white ball on the top. But with a 16, you swallow that primal instinct
Oh,
of gnomehood and you regain your composure
sad face.
and you stand before Santa's Wonderland with just a little bit of fire and dark smoke coming off in the distance.
Not this year. I'm a fan of Tim Burton.
Well, where's the frog?
It's making a mad dash towards that towards that town.
Novar, get up! You don't have to keep leaping over him.
That's a relief, and I stand up to hopefully my full height.
Oh yeah, what do we look like? Are we still?
No, it was
Do I need
just
to start talking like this?
no, it was just an illusion of the Feywild. Y'all are still your normal size. It's just the
Hopefully, I still have my normal voice, and I'm not talking like an elf like this.
Roll a Constitution check.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'll just start walking towards where the frog goes.
Do I see anyone else running towards there besides the frog?
No, you actually see several animated snowmen carrying carrots in hand and buttons in hand, looking wounded, running from the town. You also see several of the gnomes that are just erratic and looked panicked, and they don't know where to go or what to do. They're just running. They're running away. You can see them coming up the road that the frog is plopping down to the town.
I get my bow ready.
I grasp my holy symbol of Goibinu and whisper a prayer that the battle be swift, let the battle be strong. And I start to rush, following the frog as fast as I can.
That's strong.
I'll follow him without the flare. I just
go
after him.
And I stealth.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
That's a 19.
19. Okay, so you can be unseen, but you will be slower, so you'll be bringing up the rear, which...
That's right. I have a bow I can reach from a long way.
Okay. So y'all make your way into this town, and as you come into the courthouse, or to the square of the town, you see before you summer invaders. You see several dryads fighting with the gnomes and several elves that are running about. You see these small little black hooded goblin-like creatures that are going through, and you see them just destroying and tearing up all of these toys. There's just mounds and mounds of toys just everywhere that's just littered across the ground. There's cars without wheels. There's baby dolls without their voice boxes.
No relation.
Baby dolls without their babies.
No relation.
And then roll a perception check. We'll say it's we'll say 18 or higher.
18 or higher, okay.
18.
Perception.
I'll give you 2 guesses at who
I have a passive perception of 18.
Okay, cool. So
I'm 17.
Okay, so you barely miss it, Zeke, but Novar, you see this streak across. It just zooms right past you, and then you try to follow it, and then you just see this bag, and then in a moment the flap lifts off the bag, and then in a minute there's just an eruption of teddy bears and trains just out of this bag. It's a bag of holding that's just losing all of its contents all over the place, and then you see these dark little goblin-like creatures going over, tearing it up, and there is mass hysteria in Santa's village right now. What would you like to do?
Gizmo.
You are stealth, Zeke, so
I instantly put my hand out and cast Sacred Flame at one of those goblinoid creatures.
Okay.
And I will, as soon as he does that, if he hits, I will fire an arrow at
I will attack the same one.
Attacking them is all fine and dandy, but what's the frog doing?
What's the frog doing?
The frog has hopped off to the right of the square and with your 18, you see a wounded elf lying in the snow. The frog hops up to him and sits there for a moment.
Oh.
Okay, I don't see that because I rolled a 5.
You don't see that, but thank you for asking.
Can you describe the elf to me a little bit of detail? I.e., am I seeing Chris Kringle himself, St. Nicholas?
I don't know that you would know
But
what Chris Kringle will look like. But
Okay.
you see a very pale, white, thin, elvish-looking elf.
Okay.
You do notice that he has a head ornament. I don't know how else to say it. You have a head ornament, and there are some antlers that are sticking up out of this ornate crown that he wears. He does not have any red or white on.
Okay.
He is kind of dressed in almost like brown burlap material, but he's laying in the snow. You see him move, but he's down for the count.
Okay.
So
I'm
do
still
see
casting it at one of those creatures.
Okay. So go ahead. It's you can. Okay. So the dex save, correct?
Yeah.
For them.
Has to be to 14. Meter
It's,
beat 14.
it's a 6.
Okay. So since let's see, since I'm 5th level, that'll be 2d8.
Oh,
Okay.
man, he's gonna be fricassee.
Or 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay. So you
And,
you cast Sacred Flame.
and if he's still
and-
alive,
Okay. You see. Are you gonna hold that pose?
until you say,
Okay,
Fire!
so you see this bright, radiant light just overwhelm him, and he shrieks back. He looks, he closes his eyes. He's looking away, and he takes radiant damage, and so he is still up. But Zeke, go ahead and roll with advantage.
advantage.
Yes.
Alright. I believe now that he has been hit, I will use my. What's it called? It's called a. It's one of my feats. Called Colossus Slayer. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature takes an extra 1d8 damage if it's below its HP maximum.
Okay.
Wow! That's why I had to wait for him to hit. With advantage, that will be with a +4 to hit. Oh, to +9 to hit. That'll be a 24. I'm sure that hits.
Yes, it does. Go ahead and roll your damage.
2d8 for Colossus Slayer. That's not a d8. That's a d9.
A D9.
I mean a d10. Whoa.
When it gets to D11, sell.
That will be a 13 points of damage.
Wow. So, how would you like to do this?
So, I'll take the arrow, and as the flames strike as it comes up, I'm gonna fire straight up in the air. And I'm gonna watch it arc. And as the flame strike dies down, and he's cooking, you'll see the arrow come down and end him quickly, since he's a fellow goblin as well.
Okay.
No
So,
suffering.
Arrow comes in quick, nice,
Clean death.
clean death. Okay. So you guys look around. There is one more of these goblin creatures. There are 3 of the dryad, the wood imp creatures, and there is that quick blur that Novar saw. They now see you, so go ahead and roll initiative for me, please.
Nice.
Oh, I don't get to do anything before combat.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a natural 20. What do I care?
Oh, jeez.
I get to go
Very
first anyway.
nice.
That's
I
a
don't know.
21 for me.
24 for me.
Why do you
18
want-
for me.
Hang on just a second, guys.
I'm sorry.
No
I'm
problem.
sorry. 19. 19 for me.
Phineas, yours was a nat 20, and then Novar,
18.
18. Wow, y'all rolled really good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
give me just a second.
And I'm just a 19. So 20, 19, 18. Actually, what is your 22, Phineas?
It would be a 21.
21.
21. Is the battery pack in your beanie uncomfortable, Chris?
Is it showing?
Are you
No, I'm just
sweating?
wondering if it's uncomfortable.
Are you sweating with that? Hey, this might be a good time to
Listen.
remind you that if you are watching, this is a Toys for Tots charity event. Any donation you would like to make, please click on the panel under the Twitch that says Toys for Tots, and you can give $1, $5, $20, $1,000, whatever you would like to do. Just if you could, just open your wallets and open your hearts to kids this evening, this Christmas season. Thank you all very much.
All right, back to the action. So you guys are obviously going to go first. So we'll start out with Phineas. You look and you see, I'll kind of give you, you had the blur, which you have no idea was there, but you did see this explosion of toys come out of this bag of holding, and then you saw the 2 darklings that were over there destroying the toys. So that's over in front of a large, it's probably a 2-story home from the looks of it, just right outside, and then across the way just a little bit, probably 35, 40 feet away from that set are these 3 dryads, these tree imps, and they are in the process of fighting with some of the gnomes. It looks like they are getting the upper hand, and it's starting to drive the gnomes out into the alleyways, and some of the gnomes are starting to flee because they're getting overpowered. So what would you like to do first?
I am going to cast Mold Earth right in front of me, 5 feet, and remove a 5-foot cube of dirt and put it right on top of the other 5-foot cube of dirt, 10 feet out away from me. So that there's a nice little 5-foot cube of nothing now there. So I could have a little hole to jump inside of. And I'm going to jump inside of it. And that will be my action.
Okay. Phineas is putting his head and the rest of his body in the sand.
I'm now in my safe little hole, and I will end my turn.
I'm in my safe hole.
Okay. That will. Was that going to be the action that you were going to do?
Yes, that was
Surprise
going to be my
round?
free action. So I didn't have to do it during combat.
I don't know if I'm sad that I didn't let you do that, or I'm okay with
Just
not
hard
letting
to
you.
I'll do it again.
Anyways, okay. So now we're on to Zeke. Zeke, what would you like to do?
First, I'm going to get into a. How far away am I from this? What am I seeing in front of me? I'm seeing how many goblins?
There's one of the goblin type creatures that's left destroying some toys that's probably 30 feet in front of you. You shot your crossbow at his friend, who was a little further down. He's a little bit closer to you than the other one was, but he's actively destroying toys right now.
Well, he must die, of course. It's a Santa shop, not your shop. Get away for the toys. For the children.
Murder for Santa.
And so I actually have sharpshooter feet.
Nice.
And so, what that is attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged weapon attack. And your ranged weapon attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. Before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack to add 10 damage. It's kind of like a Great Weapon Master.
Okay. So are you wanting to subtract 5?
So, from the roll, I'll do that. No,
Okay.
Here's what's going to happen.
Do you have to declare that every time, or
Yeah, I'll
is
say
it...
sharpshooter,
Okay,
like
okay.
reckless attack. You have to say.
Okay.
So, okay. So what I'm gonna do here is there's a lot to this. So, I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Hunter's Mark on that goblin. And Hunter's Mark. Let me tell you what that is. You choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark it as your quarry. Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit. And you have advantage on any wisdom perception or survival checks you make to find. Or the check you make to find it? Anyway. If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn of yours to mark a new creature. So, what I will do is it's concentration up to an hour, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to actually back up as far as I can from this creature until I'm at max distance. Well, not max, but like 100 feet.
Right. You can make 100 feet.
Okay, and then I will cast Hunter's Mark upon him.
Okay.
And at first level. And then I will sharpshooter.
Okay, so roll and then subtract 5. Correct?
Yes. So that will be let's see, okay, so 11 plus 9 is 20 minus 5, 15.
Barely hits. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Holy cow, this is going to be some great damage. Okay, so 1d8 plus 4. That's going to be a 12 plus a d6. That's 15 plus 10. 25.
25 points of damage. You one-shot this guy. Like,
Just clean? Like straight through him like a laser?
if that's how you would like to end him,
Just quick. He didn't even know what's going on. That's all of a sudden.
it goes through him and then through the building behind it, out the back of the building, and sticks in a tree 200 yards past that.
With a Christmas ornament hanging on it.
Yes, yeah,
Cool.
like a little gingerbread man. Pinned.
Oh no!
He's not awakened, so he's just
That's great.
He's just a real gingerbread man. So you one shot this guy. And let's see.
That'll end my turn, pretty much. But don't have an extra. I have another attack. Is there another goblin around?
There's no more goblins. You just see 3 dryads that are probably 125 feet away from you.
Right.
That are fighting some gnomes.
Okay, can I scoot up 5 feet
Sure.
So they're not 125 feet? Okay, good.
Yeah.
What is my
that's
distance
fine.
on my bow here? It's 150.
It's like-
Never mind, we're fine. Haha!
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Sharpshooter again. Why not?
Okay.
I can't move. Bonus action next turn, I can move the hunter's mark. Yeah, so he doesn't get a 1d6 on him if I hit. Oh, okay. So this is a 19 minus 14.
14 hits. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, that's 6 plus 4. So that's 10 plus 10. 20 damage on one dryad.
Nice. This dryad is at death's door with that shot.
Then I will release Fury of the Small
Okay.
and do an extra 5 damage just to seal the dryad's fate.
Okay, so he knocks on the door and waits a minute, rings the doorbell,
Rah!
and then you kick in the Fury of the Small.
You
Door
don't
opens
even know
up,
you're dead.
grabs him, throws him in real quick. He's dead. He's off of death's door and inside partying with death. So we are...
That will end my turn, finally.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't have gave you the second feat.
Goodness.
I didn't even
He's
pick
It
that.
has
Dude.
families.
Lucky is my second feat.
Okay, so just to put this in perspective, the first Phineas dug a hole. Then Zeke just one-shotted two individuals for his turn. Next, we go to Novar. Novar, what would you like to do? There
All
are
right.
two dryads that are still fighting with the gnomes. There's also off back over, it would be to your left, where the two goblinoid creatures were. There is still something kind of just zipping around. You can see it with your passive perception kind of whizzing around.
Okay. All right. How far away are the dryads from me?
From you right now, they're probably 50 feet.
50 feet away.
Yes.
All right, then at second level, I'm going to cast spiritual. Now, quick question. I want to make sure I'm interpreting this right. If I use spiritual weapon, can I still do a smite if I hit? Is it considered enough of a weapon hit rather than a spell hit?
I could be wrong, but when I've played in the past, it has to come from your weapon you're holding.
It has to be the real weapon in my hand. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Because of how far they are, I'm still going to go ahead and cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
And place it next to and have it at the nearest dryad and have it hit.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay.
What does your spiritual weapon look like?
It is a large forge hammer. Because I am a cleric. I am a cleric of the forge.
Cool.
All right. So do I use my? Oh, hang on. Let me look
Every
your
time it
spiritual
hits, it
weapon.
goes
Plus 6.
ting.
Okay.
Ting! Ting!
Okay. 14.
14 does hit.
Okay. So that's going to be. Grab the D8 here. All right. That'll be 5 points of force damage.
Okay.
Okay, that's a bonus action.
Mm-hmm. You have movement and action left.
Yeah. How far away is the elf that has the horns from me?
I would say he's in between the little streak that you see and across the way of the dryad. So he is probably 35 feet from where you're standing. You're kind of equal distance between both of them.
All right, so that'd be just out of my range to get there completely. All right,
Right.
I'm still going to move my 30 feet to get as close to him as I can.
Okay.
To him or her.
You create this. This.
Actually, since it's too far away for me to get in one, I'll go ahead and dash and get to where he is, where he or she is.
Okay, so you're going to use your dash action. You're going to get there. You run up to him. The frog's sitting there with you.
Mm-hmm.
You can speak to him, or you can look him over if you'd like.
I want to look him over to see if he's still alive or if it appears that he is dying.
He is wounded. He is at death's door.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
But he is still alive.
Okay, all right. That tells me what I'll do next turn then. Okay, then I am done.
Okay. Then we will go to the Dryad, and the Dryad will go first. And there's 2 Dryads left, and one of them has a spiritual weapon in his face. He is about 40 feet from Novar. He doesn't see Phineas. Phineas hasn't done anything. He just notices that there's a big pile of sand now somewhere. And Zeke, you are no longer hidden, but you're very, very far away. So he's going to use, both of them are going to use their dash action. They're going to move over towards Novar, and actually, I take that back. One of them will run right up next to you, Novar. One of them is going to stop short. He's going to just use his 30 feet of movement. He's going to get within 30 feet of you, and I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Let's see.
You got this, Novar!
Wisdom
Spirit of
save,
Christmas
I
is
got
with you!
17.
17, you pass. So, for a moment, this Dryad looks like a very friendly person, like somebody that you would just love to sit down and have a conversation with. It almost feels like you've known them for a very long time. But just as that feeling starts into your mind, you notice the frog, you remember your task, you see the elf, and you shake it off. And so one is right up with you now, one is within 30 feet of you, and that's their turn. Then we go to our next entity, who will speed over to Zeke. You don't see this, but all you see is a blur, and you will be attacked. So let's see. Nat 1, Nat 2,
Hey.
and a 20 to hit.
Nope.
Not a nat, just a regular, just a unnatural 20. Does a 20 hit, Zeke? I think it does. Yeah.
Yo, Zeke.
Oh. Yeah, it hits. 20.
Yeah. So, that will be... that will be 8 points of damage to you.
Okay.
You just get a little pinprick in your side, and it's used all of its movement. So you look and you see this little blue sprite-looking creature. Looks like a hummingbird. It can't sit still. It's just sitting there, kind of shaking because it's being still enough for you to actually see it, and it just gives you a big, toothy grin as it stabs you in your side.
You're so adorable, I'm gonna kill you, stop it!
Then we go back up to Phineas. It's your turn.
Phineas, for the next trick up his sleeve, will use 10 feet of his movement to climb back out of the hole that he has made, and will wiggle his fingers and cast minor illusion at the top of the hole, at the base of it, to make it seemingly blend in with the ground around it. That'll consume his action, then he'll run away from the hole for the rest of his 20 feet, squat, and wait. That'll be my turn.
Okay, so you see.
I fire an arrow at. I mean. Hunter's mark on.
He is on our side, I
sure about
believe,
that?
Zeke.
Someone
He is
is
on
going to
our
step
side.
in that hole. Then you'll see. You'll all see.
Okay, so you just see this pit, and then magically the pit just vanishes. It's back to regular ground, and then you see this little gnome right out in the open, just kind of squatting down, looking intently at the little.
Keep in mind that 5 feet of dirt is still moved right next to the hole.
Oh, so you want to hide behind the?
Oh no, I'm just letting you know it's still there, like right next to the hole.
Okay, so
It's like
where there
digging up
was a
highway to
hole-
put it right there on the side of the.
Yeah, it has to be somewhere.
tune in.
Like where's
This time
dirt
next
just
turn.
up here out of nowhere. That's funny.
Tune in this time next turn when we fill the hole back in. All right.
Alright, well.
Next is Zeke. Go ahead and slaughter 3 more.
Well, as a bonus action, I put my hunter's mark on this little, whatever he is,
Okay.
and then I jump back. I probably get opportunity attack on me, but that's fine.
You're moving away from him, yeah.
Yep.
So that's that'd be an 11. I'm rolling junk. I'm gonna put that off to the side and take up a new dice.
Nice! He misses me!
All right. So you jump back.
And then I take a longbow arrow to his.
Okay, so a longbow.
That's what I got. It's a longbow.
Okay.
Let's see here. I
You
am
will roll with disadvantage on this creature. Your attack rolls will be at disadvantage.
At disadvantage?
Yes,
Then
sir.
I will not do sharpshooter. With disadvantage, that would be a 23.
Yes, you still.
I get a +9 to my attack rolls.
Nice.
Okay, so
1d8, that's 4. Plus 4, that's 8. And then I fire again if that did not kill him!
It does not.
oh,
so
1d6. 1d6 hunter's mark damage. That's another 4, so that's
okay.
12.
then he is dead.
Yeah!
With Hunter's Mark. You see this quickling fall out of the sky. The first time since it was born that it has not moved.
Well, you picked a fight with the wrong goblin. Alright, who's next?
Next we go back over to the Dryads.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. We go to Novar. Novar, you're next.
No, I have
All
a
right.
second attack.
Oh. Okay, go ahead. That's right. You got 2 attacks.
Alright, this one I'm gonna do sharpshooter at the Dryad.
Okay.
-5. Oh boy, that's not good. That's 9.
Does not hit.
Okay.
That's a warning shot!
Okay, so whizzes by, barely misses a gnome behind it, and we go now to Novar.
All right. First thing I do with my regular action is to kneel down to this elf with the antlers on and everything, and I'm going to cast Spare the Dying
Okay.
as an action. Because I have a feeling he's too important. He's going to be someone very important we're going to need. And then for my bonus action, I will swing my spiritual weapon Forge Hammer again at the same Dryad.
Okay, go ahead and roll for the attack.
Probably not going to do it. 8.
8 does not hit.
Okay.
So next are the 2 dryads. The one that used his dash action will come up and it will you see it raise a wooden staff behind it, and that wooden staff starts to glow with light, and it's going to swing at you with its quarterstaff. And that is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
Okay.
Just hits.
Got me
5
by
damage.
that much. 5? Okay.
Plus an extra 5 plus an extra 2 for the shillelagh.
Okay.
The other one will use its other movement. It will come up. It will attack at you as well. That's a nat 6. It will not. Well,
That will miss.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's +2, so it'd be Okay. So that ends its turn. The quickling is now gone. Both dryads have went. We go back up to Phineas.
Dig another hole.
So, real quick, Novar has someone attacking him, yes?
Correct. He has 2 attacking him.
And he is facing away from me, correct?
Yes, he is.
I would
He's
be, yeah.
bending down to spare the dying.
Yes. I will pick it the boom, slip it a sop, and lip it a do, throw out some colored sand, and cast color spray.
Nice.
Roll 60-10. I do not have 60-10 with me. Let me
One
see.
roll at a time.
Yeah. Where'd my pencil go? There it is.
Hey, man. Where's my pencil go, man?
9. 8. 8.
Whoa.
8.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Nice.
He's dead.
10.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from where you are affected in ascending order of their current hit points. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by this spell is blinded until the end of your next turn.
Blinded.
Subtract each creature's hit points from the total before moving on to the next creature with the lowest hit points.
Okay, so does that hit this round or next round?
That hits this round.
Okay. So,
Some quick math. 8 times. So 48 hit points subtracted from the 2 ongoing attackers attacking good Novar.
okay. So the 48 goes to the lowest one first, and then to the unhurt one.
But yeah,
They're both-
you subtract the lowest one's current hit points from 48, and then it goes to the next one.
Okay, they're both dead.
Oh no, they're not dead. This is just to blind them.
Okay.
This is completely no, they're not dead. This is just to blind them.
Okay, so if their hit points go to 0, then they're blinded.
Yeah, they still have the same amount of hit points. It's just
Okay.
so you know the spell sleep.
I got you now.
It's like sleep but worse.
I got you. Both of them are blinded.
And then I will shout to Novar, "Quick, Novar, get behind me!" See, when they come along, they'll run single file and fall into this 5-foot hole that I made. But be careful, don't go down it yourself. It's right next to the big 5-foot column of dirt on the left. Let's go around it, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Moving on, that'll be Zeke. You've got 2 dryads. They're both engaged with Novar, and they are both currently blinded. So a blind creature can't see and automatically fails any ability checks that require sack. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and creatures' attack rolls have disadvantage.
Nice.
So you roll with
So
advantage.
I will run over to Phineas, and I will climb on top of the 5-foot pile of dirt.
Okay. So that's 10 feet, and then what's your movement?
It's like 25.
Okay,
I got
we'll
30
just-
feet. 30 feet.
We'll say you can. That's
Okay,
fine.
cool. All right. So, and then I will take, with advantage, sharpshooter at the first
Has anyone of them been hurt?
One of them has been hit.
I
Yes.
will hit him first.
Okay.
Hunter's mark on him
Okay.
with advantage.
Yes.
That will be a 28
That definitely hits.
minus 5, 23.
23.
Still hits.
Still hits. Okay. So we got 2d8, then Hunter's mark, and add 10. So 3, 7 plus 4, 11, 21 for the first one.
Uh, 21, he's dead. So now there's one dryad left looking around. Well, not looking, it's blinded.
Yes.
Kind of sticking its hands out like, brother, I can't hear you anymore, brother. Where are you?
You'll hear him soon enough. I fire again. With advantage.
Yes.
13 plus 9, 22 minus 5, 17.
17 still hits, yes.
Ah, yes, okay. So,
They're dryads. They're basically hitting a tree.
we got.
That one's not damaged, right?
It is not, no.
Okay, so that's 8. So that's 18 points of damage.
Nice. Okay. It's on Death's door.
Finish him, Novar!
Strike
We-
him down, Nova!
All right.
Yep, go to Novar. Go ahead.
First thing I'm going to do is with my full action, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the remaining Dryad,
Okay.
Boom.
which is going to be 2d8 of necrotic. So they've got to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw of 14.
Nice.
I'm sorry about your hole there.
actually,
Phineas.
it's going to be 2d12 because he's injured.
It's a 14 on a Wisdom. 12 plus 2, so
Okay, so he passes.
fails.
So he does half damage.
So I do half damage.
Yep.
All right, so actually, since he's injured, I get to roll d12s. He's not at his full hit points, right?
No, he's not.
All right. How about a nice little 17 points of necrotic?
He is very, 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 very dead. Is there any particular way you would like to destroy this dryad?
Yeah, I aim it right at the base of the trunk, and the necrotic damage makes it rot away as if a stump is formed there, and he just goes timber backwards and falls back.
Nice. So you have this tree imp that is failed, and you guys look around. There is no more danger. All the threats have been neutralized. You do see a bunch of toys, some still put together, some destroyed, but you see toys all over the ground. You see gnomes that are all hectic and running around going, "Oh no, what are we gonna do? Oh, no, no. Thank you for saving us." And just
We're the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yes, you see a broken Jack in the Box come out singing you a sad song.
I want to be a dentist.
You see a truck with square wheels drive by.
I duck as the water pistol that squirts the great jam fires off, and I go to the guy with the guy who's down with the hammer.
Do any of the
Coming out.
Misfit toys fall into my hole?
Roll a straight luck check.
Nobody wants a Charlie
D20.
in the box.
And I'm going to go check to see if he's able to speak and find out what's going on.
Okay.
Chris, it's a nat 20.
Oh, no.
I will say
Just parts everywhere.
that all of the aforementioned misfit toys stumble and bumble and square wheel their way over into your pit. So all of the misfit toys, pistols, shooting the jam, Charlie in the box, all those things, they all
Dolly for Sue.
they fall into this pit that they could not see.
How do you do?
And
As
almost
soon-
instinctually, as a reaction, just not as a reaction, but just immediately, I'll cast Mold Earth and then put the 5 foot of dirt back where it was.
On top
So
of them?
You see that there's like an inch and a half worth of difference from all of these compressed toys.
Yes.
And nobody
Zeke would
will
kind of
ever-
laugh at that.
Nobody will ever speak a word of this.
Zeke would laugh at that.
Okay, so Novar, you go over. You have saved
Christmas.
well,
Oh.
not yet.
Not yet.
You've saved this elf.
Mhm.
Do a medicine check for me.
Okay. $22.
Awesome. Yeah, you go over. You start to bandage up some wounds, and you give him some smelling salts. He comes to, and he kind of coughs a little bit. He sits up. He looks at you. His eyes meet with Phineas. He looks over at Zeke, and he looks down at his little frog, and he says, "Thank you, my friend. You led them here just in the nick of time." And he looks up at you, Navarre, and he puts out his hand, and he says, "My name is Evan. I'm a high elf. I have, most people don't call me Evan, though. They call me the shepherd. I hope that there wasn't too much money on the line for your game earlier. I just needed some adventurers to help us and he starts to sit up.
What is going on? What is the meaning of all this?
He said, "Well,
Winter is coming.
the truth has finally revealed itself with this attack from the summer court." He points over to the little goblins over there, and he says, "These are not supposed to be here. These are darklings. They're from the Underfey, the world underneath the Feywild, like the Underdark of the material plane. They should not. They must be working with the Summer Court." And he sits down, and he kind of goes through the story, and he lets you know that a new king has been born and has been chosen from the Summer Court, from the Spring Court this past spring. And the tradition in the Feywild is the new king comes from the Spring Court. They have the entirety of the autumn and the winter to get ready for the new king to take hold of and rule. But there is something causing the seasons not to change. It went from spring to summer, and summer has not relinquished its hold on the Feywild and the material plane. And so it's Kris Kringle or Santa's job to give out gifts on the birth of this new king, and he was preparing all these toys for all the girls and boys to give out as a mark of and a sign of this new gift that's been given, this new king that's been given. But something has kept the summer court, kept a hold on the Feywild, and now with these darklings lurking about, Evan thinks that the Underfey, there's something going on. Zeke, roll a history check.
That's intelligence, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
I
Intelligence.
actually get advantage on that due to my my Fey. Hold on for 1 second. I'll read it to you. It's a favorite enemy.
Okay.
Which is the Fey, since I knew we were going to Feywild. So you have advantage on survival checks, as well as intelligence checks to recall information about them.
Yep. Go ahead. Advantage.
All right.
I don't see why they couldn't just file a complaint against them.
Let me see here for history. I have a +1, so that'll be a 12.
12. You know enough to know that the Underdark is not a very nice place.
Right.
Or excuse me, the Underfey is not a very nice place, and that it is constantly trying to create eternal darkness. They live in the shadows, they live in the dark, and it would be a great joy for them to bring darkness on the surface of the Feywild so that they could rule. And so you know that that's kind of been the MO. There's a entity called the Deep One, who in the fantasy stories and the tales that your grandpapa told you, the Deep One was always trying to bring darkness about the entire Fey world, and it was always heroes that would keep that from happening. Whenever you ask about the complaint, Phineas, Evan looks at you and he says, you don't understand. The current king resides in and has control of the Summer Court. At first we thought that he just didn't want to relinquish his power to the new king. We thought he was being greedy and didn't want to allow this new king to be crowned. But now I think there's something darker afoot. We need to go quickly we need to go to the summer court and restore the seasons like they should be. We need to allow Kris Kringle to deliver the presents, to allow the new king to take his rightful throne. You see, and he kind of pulls you in and he says, if we don't move from the seasons, if we don't experience all of the seasons, everything is thrown into chaos. The order goes off balance. Things start to tip out of control, and we will go into eternal darkness. And that clicks in your mind, Zeke, with your roll. Eternal darkness is what?
Eternal darkness!
I'm gonna poke him in the stomach and say, huh?
Eternal darkness!
Louder, boy. I cannot hear you.
Eternal darkness!
Eternal what?
Darkness!
He said eternal darkness.
Eternal darkness.
We have to go to the summer court, guys. We have to go to the summer court. Eternal darkness is coming upon us.
Let's hurry up and get this over with so I can get back to my work.
Santa needs to develop the presents. We gotta go.
So, about this
to
time,
get there, actually.
you look at Evan, and he says,
Evan, can we get there? Is there a
he says, I am the shepherd. I can get you there. I can aid you. But ultimately, we need you three to help take back the summer court, to allow the seasons to change, to allow this new king to be set on his throne, to keep the eternal darkness from setting in.
Yes.
Yes, we all heard you the first time. Nope.
Then let's not waste any time.
Well,
And at that-
I mean, what do we get? Do we get like some presents and stuff, or what do we do?
Would you like to be? Would you like to be on Santa's nice list forever?
Yes.
About that time, you see this unusually fat elf come around out of one of the doors. He looks over, and one of the little darklings has been pinned to his house with an arrow. He looks over and sees the darkling, and then looks out and sees all of you. This overweight elf has red suit, red hat, long red beard.
It's Santa!
And he says, ho, ho, ho. Actually, that sounded more like Jabba the Hutt. He says, ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho.
We're not on that campaign yet.
Ho, 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 ho. Sorry. So he sounds like Santa, not Jabba the Hutt. Just to clarify.
We're still going with it.
Jabba the Hutt slithers out of his
Gula,
winter
Zula,
home.
So
Apuda Jedi mind trick.
It's even scarier because he's the CGI version.
Hey, that's the new toy. You got Baby Yoda right now. You got Baby Hutt.
just looks like a little slug.
Star Wars, how to sidetrack a campaign.
I'm kidding.
So
Hey, just a plug. We're gonna have a Star Wars campaign starting soon. Join us again here on
for
Full
those
Zero
of-
Gaming.
And for those of us just now joining the stream, this is a stream for the Toys for Tots charity event. You can
nice.
find the link in the, if you scroll downward, it's kind of like if you scroll downwards, like to the left of me, not directly downward of me, that's where tips are. You want to go to the other thing.
So you see Santa. Santa comes out. He gives a good belly laugh. He is a elf. And you see him. He welcomes you guys in. He says, "Oh, my adventurer friends, thank you so much for saving my gnomes and saving my toys." And he looks over and sees like a bunch of them smashed and He's like,
I
well,
point to Felix.
most of them. And then he's like, where did Charlie go? Oh, well, never mind.
Oh no.
And
He's 6 feet under right now.
was it 6 foot cube?
Actually, it's only
Five
but
It's
Actually,
it's
it's
a
only
5
5 foot under.
cube.
It's 5 foot.
If it makes any difference, if we're gonna get hung up on this,
No.
it
A term of death.
doesn't have enough
He's
force
6
to
feet
cause
under.
damage. But they were there.
I said that there was like an 1.5 inch gap where it was higher than all the ground around it.
They're gonna wake like coming up out of the dirt later.
And then we
See
have
the train like just burst through the dirt.
Toy Story, where Sid is. So, Santa invites you guys in. You have tea,
cookies and
you
milk.
have cookies, you have milk. Milk's available too. And so he's like, would you?
Is this a short
he said-
rest?
well,
Sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, short rest. He says, I know what you're thinking. He says, this is the question that everyone asks me. He says, yes, I am fat. I eat too many cookies. No, I don't come down the chimney because there's some houses that don't have chimneys. And he says, watch this. And he face steps to the other end of the room. Dimension like teleports to the other end of the room, waves at you, and teleports back before his tea and cookies fall to the ground. He's still holding the tea, the cookies, and he's eating. He says, lastly, it's a bag of holding. That's how I can hold all of the children's toys all around the world and the Feywild and get them there in one night with my face step and my bag of holding. And then this reindeer bursts in from the window, and he's got a bright red nose. He's like, what about me, Santa? And
He speaks common.
he's an awakened reindeer.
Wonderful.
He's like, and then Santa's like, I wished I'd have never let him start to talk. So he goes over and he feeds him a carrot and pets him. He's like, you do a good job too, Rudolph. And Rudolph kind of walks off into the wild blue yonder waiting for Christmas Eve.
Nice.
But you've got a short rest. Evan looks like he's regaining some health. And is there anything else you guys want to do here at Santa's house?
Santa, is there anything that, maybe we can... Is there any, like, magical toys or something we can use against this dark one? Trying to bring darkness?
He said, he kind of laughs and he says, the dark one is not what you have to worry about. He says the dark one will not leave. The dark one is a coward and will send others. But he says, here, hold out your weapons.
Oh!
And he goes over to another bag of holding. He pulls out some dust and he sprinkles some dust on the tips of your arrows. He sprinkles some dust on Novar.
I hold out my mace.
Okay, your mace. And then he gives you a little pouch and he says, here, this is for your spiritual weapon. But all of your weapons are now iron, and so they will do what they'll do extra damage against Fae. Fae do not like iron, so you can add an extra D6 to the damage rolls that you do.
Wow.
So you can
Cool.
you can note that extra D6 for those. If I needed to make you any more OP than you guys already are.
Oh man, yeah.
I can make a holder.
Santa comes over to you. Kris Kringle comes over to you, and he looks at you, and he just kind of pats you on the head, and he goes,
All the evil comes out of you.
"No," he just pats him on the head because he doesn't have a weapon.
Hello. You don't have a weapon?
Like, shouldn't you be back making some more toys for me?
Oh,
Trust me, I wouldn't have it any other way except I'm along with these two.
He slaps you on the back and gives another Jabba the Hutt, ho ho ho, and says, I'm just kidding, Phineas. Now you remember, I'm always watching. Always watching." And kind of walks on.
I'll pull
Bye,
out my
Santa.
politely excuse myself from the table, and I'll walk back outside, and I'll cast Mold Earth and bring back the turn and free the misfit toys.
Kicking the snow.
Charlie in the box is like gasping for air as he climbs out of the pit.
Nobody wants a Charlie in the box.
Especially a dirty one.
Oh, man.
It's all right. So you guys, Evan looks at you and he says, "If you're ready to go now, I can take you now. If you are, if you would like to wait, that's fine too." He tells you, he says, "Listen, I will go with you. I can get you to each of the different courts. Has a wall, a barrier protecting them, just like Fibonacci we have here protecting the south, the Winter Court. Each of them is going to have a wall. I can get you to the wall, and then you must find your way in." He says, I'm sorry to tell you this, but to enter in the summer court, you're going to have to look into the mirror of merriment." And Rudolph kind of pokes his head back in. He's like, "Oh no, not the mirror of merriment, anything but the mirror of merriment." And then Evan kind of goes over and shoves him out of the window, closes the door, and he says, "You guys just let me know when you're ready."
I'll be
you wanna take a
absolutely
long
ready to
rest?
go after a 5-minute break.
Do you want
Right,
a
and-
long rest if we're not in a rush?
I'm ready to go. Like I'm completely fine.
Evan tells you he's
I don't
going
need to do
to
anything.
cast gaseous form on all of you, so you can basically travel. Yeah. If you guys would like to make those sound effects as you travel.
Meanwhile, I'll cast Greater Simethicone on both of them.
There were so many great fart noises until silence was cast. Evan does tell you that the more raspberries you spit, the faster you go in gaseous
dude,
form.
I'm ahead of everybody then.
So we will. If y'all want to take a full rest, you can. It's not.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
Yeah,
Sure,
so you can.
whatever.
Take a while to get there.
You guys can have a full rest. We'll say, for time's sake, we will. Evan casts his spell, puts a spell on you.
Spit on you.
You guys leave.
Put a spin on you.
Charlie in the box waves at all of you except for Phineas, and he gives you the one finger howdy as you leave. But you missed out over. You see Fibonacci. You missed over. You travel. You see
All
the Yetis
and the
still fighting.
Abominable snowmen.
Yeah, the Sasquatch and the Yetis are still going at
Yahoo!
it.
Nothing.
You guys go through. You make it to the barrier that is the wall of the summer court. And if you guys want to take a short break and go potty, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up.
Perfect. And everybody who's watching, Toys for Tots, click on the panel underneath the Twitch window of the stream. Donate whatever you can. Thank y'all very much. All right. Welcome back for the second and final half of the Fey Wild and Crazy Christmas Toys for Tots charity event. So if you want to donate, please click that that panel Toys for Tots under the Twitch channel and donate whatever you can. Chris, let's save Christmas.
Let's do it. So you guys have gaseous formed across the Feywild, seeing several great, wonderful things that we don't have time to talk about. Maybe at a later date we can go back and divulge, but
We saw something life-changing, but you don't want to worry about that.
yeah, we found the meaning to
That'll be
life.
next year's Return to Fey Wild and Crazy Christmas.
Absolutely.
And the secret to
Return.
42.
It will be a prequel. We'll Star Wars this thing. We'll
Yeah.
add in.
And then we're
Never
just going to
mind.
create a whole different thing that has nothing to do with anything that
Yeah.
we did in the past.
Fey Wild and Crazy 2.
Then we're going to kill off
Spring
Santa.
Break.
No.
Spring.
No.
We'll do a Bill Murray with Groundhog Day. Come on. Let's do it.
So many things we can do.
We move our. You guys come back into form, standing in front of this huge wall made of giant jungle trees, all of them interwoven, all of the tree branches interwoven. There's no gaps in between, but you have this summer court entrance, and like Evan had told you, the mirror of merriment awaits you. Evan tells you, he says, now, I don't want to alarm you, but the mirror of merriment is a completely sarcastic name. You look into this mirror, it shows you your worst nightmare, and then it asks you a question, and if you answer it correctly, you get to pass, and if not, you must continue to watch and be affected physically by the nightmare before you.
Oh,
If
it's
you
gonna be easy, guys.
Okay, so Evan, he says, who's first?
Me,
Okay,
me,
so
because I'm the
Zeke.
scariest thing in my life. It's
Zeke,
gonna be a reflection of me.
Zeke, you walk up, you look in this mirror of merriment, and it is just a reflection of you momentarily. Then there's a ripple, and you see a large green cloud come up behind you. I'm just kidding. Your guess cloud. You look into this mirror and you see your family. You see all of those that you love, the clan that you grew up with. Grandpappy Zeke is there, and you see and you watch this movie picture as they look down on you. Their eyebrows burl up. They have a frown on their face, and they kick at you, they hit at you, they spit at you as you are cast out and shunned from this group that took you in, that raised you, and they are chasing you down. They are it starts out with just kind of kicks and spit, and there's no sound, but you can see them yelling and shaking their fists. and then you see an empty trail, and you see yourself walking by yourself, mile after mile. There's no one there. There's never going to be anybody there. There's no one for you. At this moment, you hear a voice in your head, and it says, "What is the number that brought you here?"
One 4 6 4 1.
What is the number that brought you here?
What was the ball that I picked up on the pull ball?
I know what it was.
Was it 7 or 7 was the first one that knocked in? Is that? And then I knocked into 14.
You knocked in the 7.
So
You knocked in 7.
The 7 went first.
I think it was a 7.
As you say the words, this mirror liquefies, pulls apart, matrix style. As you're not swallowed in, it creates it creates a doorway. You're allowed passage through. Who's next?
I can start wiping my eyes with tears.
Guys, it's not good. It's not good.
Phineas Pool Trouser, the 5th of the Pool Trouser Legacy, will step right up to this mirror.
Remember your pool ball.
Pool ball?
Suck in.
I wasn't playing pool.
You walk up to the mirror, Phineas. You look into the mirror. You see yourself for a moment. There's a ripple. And then you see yourself on a stack of bodies. There's bodies lying everywhere. There's a few toys strewn about in pieces. You look and you watch as this Phineas Pool Trouser, the 5th, shoots fireball after fireball after fireball at each unsuspecting victim and watching them fall, and you see his eyes go black as he keeps throwing these spells everywhere. People, well, not really people, bodies lying around you, toys, misfit toys, lay in shambles and pieces. And
Curse you, shoots and ladders.
the Phineas in the image looks at you and gives this evil grin. He opens up his spell book and he points his hand at you, outward towards himself in the mirror. And you hear a voice that says, "What is the number that brought you here?"
Ah! Well, when I picked up that ball from the pool table, it did have the number 7 on it.
Remember your pool ball.
Pool ball. And I picked up the pool ball. It probably has no relation. Unless it does. It probably doesn't. 7? It's a lucky number.
7. You feel a heat wave wash over you. You are hit.
Uh-oh.
By what?
A fireball.
Oh, it's nice knowing you. At what level?
I don't even remember if I, like, the number of the pool ball I picked up was given to me.
It was. I made sure
man.
it was.
Oops, poops.
I remember mine, but I don't remember yours. Unfortunately.
Was it the 8 ball? I
will
don't
say
remember at
It
all.
was a trick question. It was the cue ball.
let's see.
I'm glad I got it wrong though. I want to see what happens.
Oh, you're about to see
Eight.
what happens.
Also, just to know the HP value that the D beyond is showing is wrong.
24 damage.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, I'd hope you've got more than 15 hit points.
Yeah, it's wrong. There goes my abjuration spiel. So that was 24 damage.
Yes. And if you had something that cuts that down, let me know. No? Okay.
I could have taken absorb elements, but I didn't.
I will say, let's see.
Roll a history check. See if you can remember your number.
I will let you
Okay.
roll a
Wasn't bad.
intelligence check to see if not Nathan, but if Phineas would remember it. And we'll say
This is a straight intelligence check.
intelligence check. Add your intelligence modifier, and it will be 15 or above.
Well, considering the number I got was 15.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, so
so
it's
19 total.
19. So you remember that it was the 14 that you picked up that
Okay.
that was hit in. So it was double 7. So again, a voice comes out to you. What is the number that brought you here?
Well, now that I know that the pool balls have absolutely no relation with your stupid test. Oh, or does it? I'm going to guess the number 14 because it's 7 twice, and 7's a lucky number. This
Twice as lucky. So the mirror parts into a doorway. You're allowed to go in with Zeke, and that leaves us with Novar.
Oh, you look a little scorched there, buddy.
Novar walks boldly up to the mirror, showing no fear.
Novar, you look into the mirror, you see yourself, and then your appearance changes. It looks similar to yours, but it's not you. And in a moment, you see a woman, you know to be your mother, come with a little baby in its arms,
Baby Novar.
and shows this individual that looks quite a bit like you. And this individual looks down at this little baby in your mother's arms, and he looks at her, and he goes over, he grabs his things, he does this, he shakes his head back and forth and blinks, and he's gone. And you and your mother are there, left alone, left to raise you all by yourself. And then you hear a voice in your head that says, "What is the number that brought you here?"
Your illusions bring no fear to me. The number that brought me here was the number 12.
The mirror liquefies parts, allows you to enter. In a minute, you see Evan also make his way through, and before you is a regal castle. You are right at the front gates of the castle. It goes up. It is covered with moss and patches of vines, and there's all kinds of growing living things around it. But you see this magnificent castle before you, the castle of the king of the entire Feywild in the summer court, and you see soldiers posted on either side, but they're just standing still. There's no movement. They don't look at you. They're just posted. You guys look at the wonder that's there, and Evan who is last, kind of pushes his way through, and he says, let me guide you. And so you walk up towards, like you're going up through the front gate. Off to the side of the front gate, there is a single spire tower that grows up like Rapunzel, just straight up, and moss and vine cover it. It's got a red roof, and he uses his druid craft. He creates these vines. The vines come up out of the ground. They shimmy up to the top, and you can see there is a doorway up at the top of this tower. You guys walk past the front entrance. You go straight up this tower. I won't make you do a climb check or anything. We'll just say that you'll eventually make your way up. It's not meant to be something that restricts you, but you make your way up to the top. And there's a doorway. You go inside. And Evan says, "This is the last chance. We need you, but I can't ask you to go any further than this. Are you prepared?"
Well,
You
sure you
say-
can. You brought us all this way.
You say this is the last chance. Have others gone before us?
No, you were the first ones that I called. But once we go into the king's room, I can't guarantee you that we'll come back out.
Phineas, you look a little charred, buddy. You need a heal or something?
Oh, I'm completely fine.
Evan, can you heal him or something?
Oh, yes. So he goes over and he will, he can cast, let's see. He can cast.
What's kind of funny is I'm actually just. Oh, yeah, 15 hit points down for my total. I'm only at 20. Abjuration.
Sorry, guys. Hang on, just give me a second. He can
Okay.
cast. He can cast Cure Wounds. And so he can cast it at a third level. And so it's 3d8. 3d8 plus 4. So give me just a second. How many did you need? 20?
I'm at 20. I'm only 15 away from my total.
Okay, so he'll cast it at second level then. Hope for 8s.
Well, you'll at least get
And
four.
I will-
at least get 6.
Yep.
2 8s.
No way.
Yeah, 2 8s. So
Full health.
16 plus 4, so that's 20. So you're at full health.
Nice.
You guys see there was a doorway in here, but there's nothing in here except for a portrait, and the portrait looks like it is the portrait of a king, or like a royal throne room, except it's not facing the throne, it's facing the opposite direction. And like it's the person sitting on the throne's view of the rest of the room. And so Evan goes over to it and he pulls the picture off. He sets it to the wall that's facing the castle, and he begins to step through the painting. And as he steps through, he actually goes through the painting, and you can see him in the painting moving around, but he's in the painting in the throne room.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Zeke follows. Everybody else going.
I'll step through.
Okay. So all of you walk through. You guys and Evan walk through, and immediately, you guys are met by the Summer King.
Your Highness?
Except the Summer King does not look.
Summary?
You've seen elves, obviously, with Evan, and you would think that the king would be even more bright and shiny, backlit with random lights that aren't really there, glowing. But he's not. He looks weak and feeble. He looks like he hasn't had a good night's sleep in a very long time. He looks frail. His clothes are not neat and pressed and kept. And he looks at you and he says, "You're here to steal the kingdom. You're here to take all that I've created away. You will not leave this room." Go ahead and roll initiative.
Alas, there's no dirt. My master plan.
Thwarted.
Rolled a 15.
That's 6. That'd be a 10 for me.
Four.
Phineas?
Yes, 15.
Okay. And then right, so the king will go first. And the king will run towards Evan. He says, "I've seen you before. You've brought them here." He comes in, he takes a swing on Evan. As he approaches, Evan looks down. He won't look at the king anymore in the eye. And as he approaches, you see fear in Evan's eyes. And the king goes in for a strike. And he will strike out with a long sword, and he will roll a nat 20. Oh gosh!
Oh, jeez. I am going to... Hold on, I think I can do as a reaction. Do luck on him. Let me check something real quick. Hold on.
Or is it only when it's happening to you?
Because I know there's I think it's only when it's happening to you. Because
okay.
Yeah,
I know there's a halfling trait that lets you do that for other people, but
yeah,
there's also a mage can roll dice. Yeah, so he crits on Evan, and so that's going to be 26 points of damage. And Evan is not looking good, and he is looking very scared. He will then he will disappear and reappear in front of you, Novar. So he just face stepped over right in front of you.
Okay.
And that is his turn. We'll now go to Phineas.
Phineas Filtrazzle will rub his hands together. Fastest, quickest, goest, boom. Go faster than I choose you. And then he will cast from his fingertips haste onto my good friend Zeke.
Okay. So Zeke, you're now hasted.
Yeah, up to 1 minute, you get a +2 bonus to AC, advantage on dexterity saving throws, and gains an additional action on each of its turns. This action can only be used to take the attack action, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Cool.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I will move away from this man.
Okay. So you back up.
And crouch.
I need. I should have done this. Well. Okay, never mind. So then we will go from Phineas to Zeke. It's your turn.
Zeke, I will cast Hunter's Mark,
Okay.
and I will move away from him as far as I can.
Okay. So
A full
30 feet away. Yep.
And then I will shoot some arrows at him.
Okay. Remember that they've been made to iron, so they add an extra.
D6.
Yeah.
Alright. Just kind of making sure I'm not missing anything here.
And don't forget that you have an extra action, so you technically can get 3 attacks this turn, since marking them is a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
You're
So
hasted.
I hasted you.
Oh, hasted me. Holy cow.
Mhm. Yeah, so you have your attack, your multi-attack, then you get to take an extra action, which you can use to attack.
And I can attack twice. That's 4 attacks.
Oh, I think you might be right.
Yeah, one
One
action is
action.
2 attacks.
That's
Mm.
fine.
Okay, so I will do sharpshooter.
Okay.
Okay.
On all 4.
On all 4.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. First one. 12 plus 9 is 21 minus 5, 16.
Does not hit.
I will. No, not yet. I won't do that yet. No. Okay. First one doesn't hit. Natural 1. That one doesn't hit. Oh, gosh, 6. That one doesn't hit. 8. Holy moly.
Zeke,
None of them hit.
you feel this like hyper monster energy meets caffeine and other drugs, and you are supercharged, and you pull out your bow and you can't keep your hand still long enough.
Man.
You have not fully mastered haste yet, and you send out 4 shots. None of them hit.
I'm sorry, guys.
So I'm hasted. Got it.
Yeah, until I lose concentration.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
All right.
That was my turn. I can't do anything else.
Okay, that's Evan's turn. He will try to cast Fairy Fire on the king. And it has to be, he has to get above a 15, and he rolled a nat 2. So he does not save. So he is now cast with green flames all around him. He is brightly lit, or he's dimly lit, and everyone will have advantage on their attacks from that.
Nice.
That was his action. He will use his movement to move over with Phineas as far away as he can from the king, and he will pick up a few stones off the ground, and he will cast Magic Stone on them as a bonus action. And he can pick up to 3 pebbles. So he'll pick up 3 rocks and cast Magic Stone on them. And that'll end his turn. It's now Novar's turn.
Okay, first thing Novar is going to do is with his action onto Zeke, Phineas, and to Evan, he's going to cast Bless.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So any attack roll or saving throw, you'll get a plus D4.
Oh, perfect.
And then for my bonus action, let's see. Let me check something here real quick. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon at 3rd level.
Okay.
And as I do so, I sprinkle it, as my Forge Hammer appears, I sprinkle it with the dust that Santa had given me so it gets the bonus.
Okay.
So let me swing away. Let me get to the right screen here. Yeah, plus 6. 23.
23 does hit.
All right, so I get 2d8 plus 3 plus the 6. So 3, 11, 16 points of force damage.
Awesome.
And that is all I will be able to do.
Okay, so we're back around to the king. As the king starts his turn, he's right there with you, Novar. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Fix my die here. Wisdom. Ooh, only a 9.
9. You see his fearsome presence, and you have become frightened for the king for 1 minute, or you can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn next turn to try to break out of it. Once you break out of it, you are immune to it for 24 hours. So Evan was frightened last turn. On his turn, he broke out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't have let him cast that, but I'll let it slide. But he broke out of it, and then he's immune to it now.
And that roll will be my action, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was understanding correctly.
Yep. So you feel a presence in it, brings fear to you, and then he's going to lash out at you. That's going to be a 26 to hit.
Just hits.
Okay. And that's 7 points of damage
Okay.
to you. And with that, he will face step again over in front of Evan and Phineas. And that will end his turn.
Now, when he phases out, do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, you don't.
Okay, just thought I'd ask.
And we go to Phineas. It's your turn now.
All right. Phineas will wiggle his fingers and go, Zeacus, Spartacus, Euacus, don't! And then cast blindness and deafness at the
Nice.
king. Specifically blind. You can blind or deafen a foe, choose one or the other. One creature range to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
If the target fails, they are blinded for the duration. It's not concentration.
He rolled a 17 plus 3, 20.
I would say that he succeeds his saving throw.
Okay. So you take some leftover sand from earlier. You throw it up in his eyes. He wipes it out. He's perfectly fine.
And he's right next to me, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Next, we will move to Zeke.
Zeke,
You are.
I am not going to do. Well, wow, what the heck? I got a 1d4 I can add to it.
And it's advantage now.
With advantage, of course. So, let me get all that out real quick.
And yes, I can only do another attack. I can't do a whole other action. So only 3 attacks on him, by the way. So,
Okay.
has he taken any damage?
He has, yes.
Colossal
16
Slayer.
points.
Alright, come on, baby. Alright. 17 plus 9 is 26. 21.
21 hits, yep.
21, okay. And then that takes care of that one. And then we have, let's see here, 15 plus 9. 24, 19.
Don't forget to add the +4, the D4.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I want to make sure.
19
19 hits.
and 21. So we have all 3 hitting this time. With
Nice.
Colossus Slayer damage and +10 and +6. 2 +6s. Let me get all this dice. So many dice.
As Zeke just one shots the guy.
Okay, so 2d8.
What is this monster that I've created?
One shot Zeke.
Okay, 3d8 because I hit 3 times. Okay, and then oh, that's 3 more. That's 3 for each of the arrows I get hit, so that's 3 for that. For the iron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just-
So that takes care of that, and then the d6 for the hunter's mark. And okay. And then a +10 to each one of those hits. That's +30 damage. So okay, let me add all this up. This ain't even a crit. All right, so we have 8,
Too legit to crit.
14, 17, 22, 26, 34, 39, 40, plus 30, so that's 70 points of damage.
70 points of damage.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Now you know what I deal with.
Oh, wait, you said I had advantage on him.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, let me roll. Let me see if I get a nat 20. If not, nope, we're good. We're good.
Okay. So. All right. This guy.
I found out all his vital points.
You
And
just like
pin cushion.
Zeke is like too much coffee shaking the first round and misses all 4. Then you have Evan
Moment of clarity.
wounded. You see him throw up this fairy fire, this green dim fire covers the king's body, and then Zeke, in your mind, you remember, oh, green. Green means go. Let's go. You go, and you're like, you're like acupuncture therapists, insane with your arrows, and
Awesome.
Battlefield acupuncture in the opposite direction.
Oh my goodness.
is very hurt. Very, very hurt.
Nice. I will bonus action hide.
Okay. Bonus action, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. Do I get advantage since he's blind?
He's not
He's
one.
not blinded.
Oh, he's not blind. Okay. That'll be a 20. Dirty 20. As Robert likes to say. It's
No.
a dirty 20.
He doesn't know where you are. You can
Okay.
you can duck behind something.
Cool. That means I'll have advantage over next time.
Okay. You already have advantage for the fairy
Oh,
fire.
that's true.
But
Oh, man, I lit him up.
so we go from this amazing blow of 70 points of damage from Zeke. Then we go
That's
to
crazy. That's crazy.
Evan. And Evan stands and he unwraps this piece of leather from around his arm, and he puts one of the magic stones in the piece of leather, and he waves it, slings it over his head, and he lets loose a sling with a magic stone. And that is a 23 to hit. That'll hit. And then we will do... that'll be 14 points of damage. For him... and he will fall back to the ground as he has damaged his foe. We will then go to Novar. It's your turn.
Now, do I roll at the end of my turn or the beginning?
The end of your turn. It's the
Okay.
end of your turn. Yeah.
Now, since I'm frightened, can I still do the bonus action of swinging the spiritual weapon?
Yes, you may not get any closer to him than what you
Yeah.
already are, but you're
So if I stay right here, the spiritual weapon moves. I can
Yep.
move that to where he is.
Yep, you can take a swing.
All right. So we will swing with that. 9.
9 misses.
9.
Now roll a wisdom
Yeah.
check. DC 16.
Okay. 21.
Nice. You are no longer frightened. You cannot be frightened by him for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
We will...
How far? No, I'll just stay where I am because he's probably gonna bamf again somewhere. So I'll wait and see where he bamfs.
he will... it's his turn next. And you... let's see. Phineas, you see for a moment in his eyes the darkness that is there, the cover of it kind of fades for a minute,
As he spits blood from his open.
and he looks at you and he says, "Adventurer, please, end this now. In this now. I
You're
can't
asking the wrong one.
hold
I
on
don't-
much longer.
My turn's next. Don't worry, buddy.
Just end me." And he takes 2 steps to the left, giving you an attack of opportunity.
Slap him, Phineas.
with your no weapon.
Because my unarmed attacks will be dealing a -1 to damage, Phineas will elect to not attack this guy.
You hurt yourself. I think it's just one. You just do 1 damage if you hit him.
Yeah, if you want to roll, you'll
No,
at least do 1. Okay, that's fine. So,
Phineas operates on a level.
I know that's why I allowed the opportunity to let you grovel with your decisions as a character.
-1.
Grovel, grovel, grovel.
So he took his 2 steps of movement. He sees that you're not going to do the job, and he will take a swing at you.
I will cast Shield and get +5 to AC.
Okay, that is a 26 to hit.
That still hits, but in casting a abjuration spell, my Abjurer's shield comes back, you see. So I'd have 9 extra hit points with my shield.
Very good.
Nice.
And now I die.
Let's see. 15 points of damage.
Oh, that's actually much less than I was expecting.
Well,
Right.
the first one was a crit. Just throwing that out there. Then he will.
I have to roll a concentration.
That's right. Go ahead.
For my haste spell. That is a 6 + 3. That is a 9. That does not hold up. You are no longer hasted, good sir.
Also, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw. I forgot to
This
do
is
this
against
at the
magic,
beginning.
right?
Yes, yeah,
So I have advantage on this.
that's fine.
So
I meant to have you do it at the beginning, but it doesn't really matter now.
20 on my first roll.
Okay, you
Yeah.
pass it. You can't be charmed for the next 24 hours. Then we go on to Zeke. You're next. You. I will say that
Thought I
Phineas.
moved after him.
What now?
Thought I moved after the big bad evil guy.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking that you didn't attack him on your turn, but it was his turn. So
Yeah.
Okay, good.
that's true. Phineas, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'll
Please say
wiggle my
you're going to
finger.
smack him.
No, I'm going to wiggle my fingers and incant Stopidus, Slowicus, Sluggishness, Halt, and cast Slow upon him. He has to succeed a somewhere in this wall of text will tell me which saving throw. A Wisdom saving throw.
It's a 9. He does not.
He does not.
9?
A 9. He's not very wise.
So he has a -2 penalty to AC and Dexterity saving throws. He can no longer use reaction. On its turn, it can either use an action or a bonus action, not both. And regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it cannot make more than 1 melee or ranged attack during its turn. If the creature attempts to cast a spell with the casting time of 1 action, roll 1d20 on 11 or higher. The spell does not take effect until the creature's next turn.
Nice. Okay, so he is slowed, and I may ask you to reread that multiple times to remind me what all it does.
That's fine. But what's important is he can't take reactions right now, so I'm going to and get out of there.
So you're going to run away. And then it's now Zeke's turn.
Now, Zeke. Well, I guess, I mean, do we want to kill the king?
Do it.
Do it.
Where did that come from?
I know,
Phineas?
right? It sounds like Palpatine over here.
And your journey to the dark side will be complete.
Do it.
All right, I get advantage still.
Mhm.
Oh man, okay.
Perform the task we've been brought here for.
All right, so this is all sharpshooter. That's 19 plus 9, 28, 23. That hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First one. 17 got the same one, so 23. And then 20.
20 hits.
20
yeah.
hits as well. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all with the blessed. Thank you very much. All sharpshooter, all. It's another 30 points. I mean. Oh my god. I just want to just do it just to see. Okay, so. All 3 arrows hit, so I get the 3d6. For the iron, the magical enchant.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter's Mark, so another 3d6, and then 3d8 for the actual longbow. So okay, so it's 11, 14, 15, 29, 33, 40. So 40, another 70 points of damage.
What the heck?
Okay. So as these arrows, again, they're hitting,
Not even hasty this time.
put in the chest of. If you're not hasting, then you don't get the 3 attacks. You just get 2.
Oh, I thought I was hasty.
He lost concentration.
Ah, okay. So
Oh,
then
yeah,
okay, then take away the. Well, just take away 70 divided by 3. Was that? Doing the math in my head.
It's
22 and a half, give
Yeah.
or take. So take away 22 and a half points. Is he still alive?
Yes. Well, you do. You do your damage, and as the arrows pierce.
We'll say 45. 45.
That's fine. As the arrows pierce, you see the king get knocked back.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
As you
like
see
a
him.
Hulk in Avengers Endgame.
Yes. And as you see him get knocked back, you see his form brightens instantly. His whole body looks more summery than it went. All of that weariness has gone. He's laying on the ground, and in front of you stands this hunched back, evil, long nose, boils, one spare tooth stuck out to the side. You see this dark hag standing in front of you.
Yeah.
She takes the arrows that are left from him. So the rest of the damage is
Carries
directed
over. Okay.
directs towards her. And you see before you the real person behind it all, the dark hag of the deep one, the puppeteer that's been pulling all the strings.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
And she says,
Ah.
You will not win this fight. You may have taken out my puppet. You may have taken me to come into my true form, but the deep one will always be there, lurking, waiting for you to trip up, for you to not be watching, for you to give in to the darkness.
I'll
And-
never turn to the dark side.
Nice. Now before you stands the
I
hag
will-
of the deep one.
I'm gonna get back as far as I can from her.
Okay. How far away?
Oh,
Me.
bonus action height.
Bonus action out, roll a stealth check.
25.
I'm assuming that she's not slowed.
8. you got your stealth check. She is not slowed. You see him fall back, and his fall back is slowly laying him down. Like he's falling slowly.
Cool.
What is the hag wearing?
She's got a necklace with an amulet on the that is a deep dark purple. She's got kind of a frumpy dark purple-y outfit on. It looks like she bought it 300 years ago and she hasn't taken it off since.
Okay.
She carries a staff with this kind of rodent-looking skull on the front that's draped over the top of it, but it's too big to be like a rat or anything. It's just this huge skull that sits on top. There's some feathers and bones that are hung by some cords underneath, and it kind of rattles whenever she shakes it, kind of like Rafiki and his staff. But there's no armor to speak of.
How far away is she from me?
From you right now, she was right where the king was, and he was over next to Phineas. He took 2 steps to the left, so he's within 30 feet of you, or she's within 30 feet of you.
All right. With my action, I want to cast heat metal on the necklace.
Okay. Let's see. It has to make a check.
No, let's see. Must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. She rolled an 8. That'll be an 11. So
Nope.
She does not make it.
She does not make it. So, how's about, just for grins and giggles, 8 points of fire damage
Okay.
to start.
Nice. Oh,
And
it's Colossus
then-
Slayer. Yes.
And then, with my bonus action, here comes the Forge Hammer.
Okay.
$17.
17. Wow. Okay. So
To hit.
Oh, 17 to hit. I'm sorry. I'll put that HP back on there. 17 just hits.
Okay.
Good job.
So, for 8, 12 points of force damage.
12. Okay. Awesome.
And now, so if the creature is holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it, the creature, they didn't fail, they said they didn't fail they failed the Constitution save, so they can't drop. They must either succeed on the throw or drop the object if they can. If they don't drop the object, it has advantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
And then I can bonus action hit her again, cause more heat damage
Yeah.
or fire
Yes.
damage.
Hit her again.
Okay.
Yes.
She senses the singe on her neck. It's not her turn, so she can't. I'm gonna say she's not gonna be able to take
Right.
it off right now.
Until her turn. She'd have to wait till her turn to do
Right.
it.
And just so that just to let you guys know, we're just gonna keep the same
Order.
same initiative
Mhm.
and just keep going through. And so that would be back to the top. That would be our dark hag, our night hag, and she will She will go in for a melee attack. She'll use her claws. She'll go after Evan. She rolled a 4, so she does not hit. Let's see. That's all she's got. I didn't play her very well this round. All right, so next we go to Phineas.
All right. I cast all my big ones, so all I have is Smolicus Tinius Shorticus U, and I will cast Reduce on this hag.
Okay. What's the saving
It
throw?
is a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 16.
That barely succeeds. And that's unfortunate. Alright. I'll hunker back down and I'll wait for my next opportunity.
Okay. Then we will go to Zeke.
All right. Bonus action. Hunter's Mark
Okay.
on the hack. Unless it followed her.
No, you have to
okay.
move it.
I'll say you have to bonus action to put it on.
Okay. No worries. So I'm hidden.
Because
I
the
get
slow...
advantage? Is that correct?
No. I mean, well,
I'm
you're
hidden.
hidden. Yes. Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
Sharpshooter! 2 attacks, come on. Oh man, I'm so close. 22 plus 23 for the first attack.
That hits.
And then this one might save me. 15 plus 9, 24, 19.
19 hits.
Oh, okay, good. Cool. I don't know how dexterous they are. Alright, so 2 arrow attacks. Boom. That's 6 points of damage. Colossus Slayer. That is 10. That's Hunter's Mark. Oh, whoops. Hunter's Mark. 10. Ah. 18. This is for the iron arrows. 24. 26 plus 20. 46 points of damage to the hag.
46.
Yes.
I can't hide, so I'm just gonna keep moving as far away from her as I can.
How do you want to do this?
Oh! Hold on. Ah.
Yes. Murder.
I will
The old
scream out.
gray hag, she ain't what she used to be.
I will scream out. I am from a race that the Dark One embraces. But I don't embrace him, and you can go back to where you came from. 2 arrows through her heart, through the talisman, shattering it. If it can do that, if not, whatever.
Sure, absolutely.
Just-
It shatters into 1,000 little purple pieces.
Then
Yep.
the second
All
one.
that heating I did made it brittle.
There you go. Shattering it, and then as it shatters, right through the heart, and I say, "That's for Santa." Santa sends his regards.
Don't open till Christmas. So,
That's a good one. Yeah.
Coal in your stocking.
as you guys look over, the king, he starts to. You can tell that he's still breathing. He hasn't woken up yet. But Evan is quick to tell you that hags are able to come in and touch a being that is asleep, and if they fail a certain check, they get to give them horrible nightmares and keep them from being able to go to sleep, and they can actually start to do damage and can control those entities if it lasts long enough. And so this night hag had been controlling the Summer King to keep summer right where it was, to not allow the other seasons to take place. Once he is released, he's a good and noble king, and he served his time well. But he gladly brings in the new king and installs him as new king. He bows down before and presents him a gift. And the new king, as a young adult, allows the former king to serve as an aide to help him rule his country for the Feywild for a while. And at least until he gets the use of things. Santa delivers all of his gifts, and all of the things go on without a hitch. You guys stay for a few months and watch the new king, watch the seasons change. You take a stroll and see all the Yetis out playing in the snow, and know that the Sasquatches are up asleep the multiple Sasquatching. They're up in the caves, getting their winter sleep. All is right with the world at the moment, and you go back, get to visit with Santa. Evan takes you through, guides you through, lets you see the sights and the wonders of the Feywild, and after about a month or so, he takes you back into the field where you first came, and he says, I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank you guys. You dropped everything. I mean, y'all had so much stuff going on. You were literally gambling on a game of chance, or at least watching it. But you came and you helped save the Feywild, and for that, we will always remember you. And he looks at each of you, and he puts a 7 ball in Zeke's hand, and a 14 in Phineas's hand, and a 12 in Novar's hand. And you guys hold on to the pool balls, and you have that reverse feeling. You go through the long tube, you come out. Only a few days have passed since you left.
We just pop up right in this bar.
Time
Right on the pool
operates
table.
differently. You just pop up. There's a couple guys that are currently playing pool. There are a bunch of like big half orcs that you have to kind of talk your way out of that situation a little bit. Each of you
You
Are
might
you
want these
missing a
3
ball?
balls.
Each of you go home. It's actually Christmas morning.
Oh, nice. And
you
guys
go
are at the
in-
bar. Fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Christmas
go
morning.
Christmas morning, playing pool. They were half orcs. They didn't have. They were on the naughty list.
They didn't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a little bit Kwanzaa.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all go home. You guys each have a gift delivered for you from Santa himself, personalized.
Phineas, it's Charlie in the box.
That's exactly what I was gonna get.
I'm sorry.
Phineas was going to
I
have
did not mean to steal that from you. Oh,
Phineas
sorry,
was going to
Chris.
have a new clockwork toy. It was going to be a Charlie in the Box.
I'm so
And
sorry.
Folder.
after several therapy sessions, they become best friends.
That's cool.
You're
Albeit
also,
him just a bit dirtier.
you are also Santa leaves you a note that says you don't always have to pick up a sword to be a hero. He gives you a nice new leather-bound spell book that you can transfer all your spells in. He also gives you a good supply of magical ink and paper to add new spells with. And he leaves you some money to live out your feeble existence with Charlie.
Phineas is happy that he was able to save Christmas in Oberon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Zeke, you go home and you find that your family is there waiting for you. It was a surprise
My family.
guest appearance. They all bring you in. You have Christmas dinner with them. There's gifts to go all around. You do get a nice shiny new crossbow, or excuse me, a longbow for a goblin. But you have your family there. You have Grandpa Zeke there.
When I bring it back, does like snowflakes come off the? Like when I let it go, it's like a little flurry of
Absolutely.
snow. Oh,
Yes.
smell
Yeah.
like jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells.
And then every time you release it,
Jingle
there's
all the way.
Rudolph going, "Hello, guys! Hello, guys! Hello."
There's a big red nose on the end of it where the hand goes.
Oh, there goes all your stealth rolls.
Yeah.
And then Novar, you go back to your home, and you have a letter from Santa, and it says, "Don't hide who you truly are. Your bravery has seen you through. You have waiting for you. You have a nice new set of plate mail with your
Nice.
holy symbol put on the front of it, and you have a shield that matches it. And there somehow Santa got a picture of you and whenever you were a baby, and your mother and your true father, your genie father. And it is not the picture that you saw in the Mirror of Merriment, but it is a happy family photo of all three of you. You're even smiling, no teeth yet, but all of you are there smiling for a family portrait, and he has that along with your armor. And
So
you
the Mirror of Merriment reminds me of the Oracle of Matrix, where it shows you something just to put you on the path to make it right.
didn't necessarily go with the Matrix.
I know. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, reminds me like, oh, well, what would you have done if you didn't know that? Never mind. Sorry.
So,
Tangent.
you guys have successfully saved Christmas, brought the new
Yes, we
king to his throne. You have
Toys for the
thwarted
children.
the heinous acts of the Deep One and his minions, and hopefully brought a lot of toys to a lot of Tots. And that's where we'll end our episode.
Yay! Toys for
Thank
the
you for a
tots.
wonderful Christmas
Yeah,
campaign.
awesome. That was awesome.
Cool.
That was fun.
That was fun. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
And
Now
thank you all for who watched.